But after marriage, when I went, oh my God, it was a total different story. There was no pampering. There was no special treatment. I had to learn things from scratch. I was not self-sufficient.
Right.
Cooking, driving, I didn't know those things. Somebody else did it for me all along in India.
Hi, welcome again to my channel Kapila Nagpal. So here we delve into the fascinating journeys of different careers of different people. So today I have a versatile personality with me. I was just waiting to meet her. I crossed almost all the signals to rush to her and meet her on time. And she is Meenakshi Seshadri. We all know her, the famous films Hero, Damini, remember? So here I am with the legend, Meenakshi ji. Thank you so much for sparing out your time, and I'm so honored to have you here with me.
Thank you.
So I would like to know about your career journey. You started at a very young age, which is very, very impossible nowadays for the youngsters. Since my channel focuses more on the career journeys of experts, so we would like to know from you that how did you get into that at such a young age?
I think all the stars aligned themselves somehow and made it possible for me to be Miss India and a movie actress at the age of 17.
Amazing.
I look back and I'm myself very surprised and astonished that something like that happened. But I think it's because I started early in life. I had my teacher at home, my own mother, who taught me dancing, music, singing, and I could do that. As soon as I was talking and walking, I was dancing and singing. So that practice gave me the confidence to come on stage.
Great.
And then move into the entertainment industry world. So I guess I was just lucky. I did what I loved. I was passionate about it and I got paid to do it.
Wonderful. So you moved to US after your marriage, right? So the transition from India to US must have not been very easy. So how did you cope up with that?
My first step in the country of America was when I was an actress, and I visited it as a star doing film star shows, traveling different cities, being treated like royalty, pampered by everybody, all the local organizers and fans. But after marriage, when I went, oh my God, it was a total different story. There was no pampering. There was no special treatment. I had to learn things from scratch. I was not self-sufficient.
Right.
Cooking, driving, I didn't know those things. Somebody else did it for me all along in India.
Right.
But I learned and then grew to enjoy my independence there. My anonymity, in fact, became a blessing in disguise because I got to do so many things which I could never do as a famous actress in India. And of course, I was there with my family and nothing better than making a home with people you love.
Of course.
And that makes all the difference. And of course, I started my dance school. So that helped me stay in touch with my creativity.
Right.
And that aspect of my personality.
Meenakshi ji, I would like to know that a lot of women, they leave their career once they have kids. So what is your message to them? How should they balance? Like you balanced it out so beautifully. So what is your message to the other women?
My thought is, if you love something, do it. Because this is one life that you have.
True.
And I did take a sabbatical from movies for almost 28 years.
Yeah.
I lived in the US,
True.
far removed from the mad world of Bollywood. But I never lost my passion for acting and being with creative people. So the message is this: it's never too late.
True.
I'm got grown-up kids today, 25-year-old daughter, 21-year-old son, who are very independent, very self-sufficient, very smart. And with the support of my family and my kids, who now don't really need me in the same way as before, I have relocated
Okay.
back to India. I've taken this really big step that I've come back in the reverse
So
direction.
they didn't want to come into acting. What are they doing nowadays?
My daughter works, and she works in a fintech company, and it's a startup. And she is very talented. She can sing and dance beautifully,
Of
but
course.
she's not interested in it
Okay.
at all. She did not follow it up.
Okay.
My son is second year college. He studies computer science.
Wonderful.
But he also is fascinated by music and dance and composing and writing
It's
and
there in
singing.
the genes.
Yes, there in the genes. He would love to model and act.
Okay.
But we are encouraging him to get an employable degree first. And if then he still feels that he wants to get into this field
Right.
or something more creative, so be
How
it.
was your husband's reaction once you decided to come back? So what was his reaction?
I have had an open dialogue with my family for many years.
Okay.
That once the kids were, old enough to manage on their own and
Right.
start their lives. And in America, kids leave the parents' home and start living by themselves pretty early.
Right.
Many of them after college don't ever come back home except for holidays. So this dialogue was always there that, I would come back, and my love for India and Indian fine arts was too strong for me to stay away.
Okay.
And there's a practical reason.
Right.
I cannot get job opportunities for what I do, for my
Right.
talent in the US. And so at this ripe age of 60,
Which you don't look like, of course.
thank you. I'm back, and I'm very excited about my second innings.
Wonderful, amazing. So what are you planning to do now? You will be taking up films, or what exactly are you planning to take up?
I think I fall into all possible categories, big screen movies, reality TV, OTT platform, events and appearances, classical music and dance,
Right.
performing on stage. I'm also a very avid vocalist, having been trained in classical music, both Hindustani and Carnatic. So all this gamut and myriad opportunities and options are there. I don't know which is going to be the first one to hit the audience's eye. I have some very interesting story narrations which I have heard,
Oh,
and cross my fingers that by
amazing.
the end of this year, I should be seen by the
Amazing.
public.
Definitely. We'll look forward to it, of course.
Thank you.
So, how was the parenting over there? I mean, you were all alone, managing by yourself. So, and having two kids, of course, we Indian mothers, we get terrified. So, how was your journey with your kids?
I did the best that I could. I believe in giving a lot of affection and attention. I am not the best cook in the world, so my kids grew up complaining constantly about how terrible the food at home was. And we did a lot of ordering of takeout food.
That's okay. Even I don't know how to cook. So, I give the reason your father also doesn't know. So, it's okay.
Yeah. And because I decided to not work except to teach dance, so because of that, I had a lot of time for the kids. And Harish was very busy working, and somebody had to earn, right?
Right.
So I think there were good neighbors and friends who helped whenever I felt I couldn't manage. And in the US, it's kind of hard because the lifestyle is such that you're forced to do almost everything by yourself.
Absolutely.
So I'm glad I learned a lot of things, home improvement stuff, how to use power drills and do some basic carpentry and electrical repairs. So, I think my kids...
You were, as it is, versatile, and now a perfect homemaker also. You got all the skills now.
Oh no, I'll not take that credit of being a perfect homemaker, but somebody who just adored the family and the kids and, loved being with them and didn't care about my profession or my work for 28 years.
Right.
That you can say, you can categorize me like that.
So when it came to their teenage, how did you choose their career, or they were free to choose their own career? Did you guide them? What exactly had happened?
Harish has had a big hand in guiding the children.
Okay.
I am not that savvy about how mainstream careers in America would work for my kids. If you ask me about guiding them as a dancer, actress, musician, I can guide them beautifully.
Of course.
In fact, my son does talk to me about that. But when it comes to, finance and investments and engineering and computers, and then I'm like, you take over and you help the kids figure out.
Right.
But they're pretty smart. And that's the other beauty of life in the US is you can keep changing your life path. There are people with the age of 50 who change careers.
Right.
So it's a very interesting system there.
So about Indian education system, as you had been here in India, your education has been in India. So you must have seen a drastic change in the education system here and over there in US. So anything that you would like to add, that something should be added to this system also, which can enhance, though there are new education policies, but again, something from a mother's perspective, maybe.
Both my children went to private schools.
Okay.
Which means tuition is expensive,
Right.
but they have a lot of facilities and amenities. Like how you have your schools in Dehradun and all that, where they have so many options for the kids.
Right.
But it's very expensive to get that kind of education. So it's fantastic that we could afford that sort of education for our kids. But public schools there too, some of them are really good. And I think what I see is well-rounded kids in the
Right.
US. And I think that's coming into play in India.
Right.
It's not just bookish knowledge anymore.
True.
It's not just passing exams.
Right.
It's becoming a more structured, person
holistic.
who can, who can handle
Right.
multiple things.
Right. Right. So, one thing I would like to ask you, if I would tell you to go into past and you would like to change something.
I would like to change the fact that I got into movies so early that I missed out on college life.
Oh.
So although I think the only actress in Bollywood who, along with acting, did BA and MA, studied. Nobody else has done that. Everybody thought I was stupid, But because I was working, I could only study as an external student, as a private student. So I never got to actually go to college, interact with peers, and, grow more. That experience shapes you and makes you a more mature adult. So I was slightly kiddish even when I got married, I think. I got my maturity more after I went to the US.
Okay. Something that no one knows about you.
Oh my goodness. There are many things and it's going to stay that way.
Okay. Any one secret which you would like to share? Something interesting?
One secret. Even if I have to follow a recipe to make a dish, it'll end up tasting like something else. It never works.
Same here. I can completely resonate. All right. And describe yourself in one word.
Sincere.
Amazing. And what will your children call you in one word?
mom.
Is there any adjective that they use sometimes, very often?
Oh gosh, no. I think it's, I love you.
Okay, great. Fine. Thank you so much for your time, Meenakshi ji. It was wonderful having you here. I'm
Wonderful
really
talking to you.
honored to be here with you. Thank you so much.